was a time in the beginning of our partnership where we had just joined the business, and Juan got home one day and he was super excited. He just closed, he recruited, he's telling me like what a great day he had. And I was home with our firstborn daughter at the time, and I had crappy attitude. I mean, just stinky attitude and energy. Like, I was so annoyed. I had a rough day at home, which I felt like it was a rough day for me. And I see him get home excited. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I'm home, man. Like, you're having a great day, but I'm not having a good day. Like,
it was a max case, guys. How can you not have a good day, right?
So for me, it was like, if I'm having a bad day, like, you're gonna have a bad day too. And that was so wrong of me, but I did that to him. And I remember getting a phone call from Franny, because Juan talked to Franny, and
so
Franny
huge
called
tip,
me.
right? So I'm gonna stop you there.
Okay.
So huge tip, right? Do not coach your partner, right? So Martin and Franny always used to tell us never coach her, right? Because if I coach her, now she's gonna take it as criticism, or she's being attacked, right? So we'll call Franny, right? Hey, coach, this is happening. You got my back? She's like, got your back. And then Franny will call her and then coach her, and she will take it differently. Even though it was going to be the same message, but guess what? She will take it in a different way, right? So that's key, right, guys? Go for it.
Yeah, so Franny called me, and the first thing I do is just vent out, right? I just vented out to Franny. She heard me out, and once I was done, she pretty much asked me, like, are you done? And I'm like, okay, yeah, like, I'm done. And she's like, okay, Cindy, I want you to know that I'm coming from a place of love. I'm telling you this because I love you and I care for you, and I want to see you guys win, but you have to listen to me. So she started telling me, like, okay, what kind of a man do you want to have? Because I just got off the phone with somebody else and had a similar conversation, but there's two different men here. So she started expanding on it, and she said, do you want to be the one that's worrying about how is he going to provide? He's not getting off the couch. He's not going on appointments. How am I going to pay the rent next month? What are we going to eat? Or do you want to have the one that, yes, he's working hard, he's providing, he's making sure that you have food on the table, that your daughter is taken care of, that you lack nothing? So which one do you want to have? And that to me was like a shift in my perspective, because I never thought about it like that. I saw it in a negative way of like, oh, he doesn't spend time with me. He doesn't spend time with our daughter. We don't even see him. Like, what's the point in this? And when she said that, it was like, oh my gosh, I never saw it in that way. Like, I even felt ashamed, like I shouldn't be complaining. It wasn't my place, but it took, obviously, me talking to Franny and her telling me the truth, which I didn't want to hear it, I'm going to be honest, but when she said, I'm coming from a place of love, I'm like, I know she's not going to tell me anything to hurt me. It's going to be from a place of love because she cares for me and for Juan. So from then on, like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to plug in, because I wasn't going to meetings. I wasn't plugging in. I didn't want to, like, learn anything. And I'm like, if I want to change, I need to start connecting. I need to start plugging in. I need to show up. Even if I'm just in the back with the baby, but I'm listening. I'm learning.
I think she could do the whole training, huh, guys? Like, you should do it, right? Also, different strengths, but one mission. Different strengths, but one mission. She has a unique quality on her own. I have my unique quality, right? Her unique quality could be maybe she builds relationships better than me, and that's okay. We are one, right? Maybe I could do a better motivation within my team, and that's okay. She don't need to motivate. I'll take care of that part, right? So you find out whatever your quality is and use it to the max, right? Also, it could be, you know, I could say, hey, babe, this is what I want to do for the team, but that doesn't mean I'm going to plan it. She does the planning. I'm the visionary. This is what I want. We should do this. We should do that. And she's like, got it. So now she goes online, and then she's checking everything that she needs to get done, right? But I casted out the what? The vision. And she finds a way to get it done, right? So it could be different ways, right? I gotta hurry up. Handling challenges, right? Handling challenges, go for it, babe. This is yours.
So when it came to handling our personal challenges, I think it was big to look in the mirror. And like literally, instead of pointing the finger at one another, just really looking at our personal self in the mirror and admitting to what it is that we were lacking in, what it is that maybe we didn't like or wanted to, grow on. So for example, me, I had a lot of baggage, we could say. I had a lot of insecurities, a lot of trauma, and that is something that I used to point the finger at Juan at, but in reality, it was me that I had to work on that. And I had to make the choice to get better and not bitter about it. So I had to start self-improving, which was something I never did. I had to obviously talk to Franny a lot more often and ask Franny, like, what can I do to get better as a partner? And there was times where I would cry because it's not something I wanted to hear, but I knew it was something that was truthful. And something about Franny is that she'll never sugarcoat anything. She doesn't beat around the bush. She tells it like it is, but again, it comes from a place out of love, and I appreciate that from Franny. So when it came to this in particular, it was about not seeing each other as the enemy. Because for a long time, I would just see him as, oh, he's just criticizing me. It's never enough. I'm never good enough. And I would play the victim mentality in that. But I learned to shift my perspective on that because I didn't want to be the victim anymore.
Yep. And when it comes to accountability, right? If she was to call Coach Franny or Mario, or if I was to do that, we got to learn how to trust and know how to communicate. So you see, if Franny was to call Cindy, she trusts her. You follow me? So if Franny was to say, it's coming from a good place in my heart, that's the trust. That's the communication. So now she could coach her. Does that make sense? So when you do that with your partner or whoever your partner is, you guys got to make sure that you trust each other. You know how to communicate with one another. It's not always going to be perfect. Everything's going to be good. No, there's going to be challenges in the process. But I think trusting one another and knowing that if you're holding each other accountable with one another, you know it's coming from a good place, right? Accountability and supporting each other, it's important. I'm going to push her to be a better version. She's going to push me to become a better version of Juan. But if I push her, she can't say, hey, stop having high expectations from me. She got to say, thank you for having high expectations from me.